welcome to day 12 of DEPHEMEREMBER. I thought I'd give you a nice garden view today for a change. So today's paper bag is this one here with these beautiful butterflies. This is the back. Our animal freebie is a bunny today. And our snack is a Turkish one. Never had this before. Looks like a cupcake with lemon glaze and lemon filling. Oh, it's not the shape of a cupcake. It's more like this. It's not bad. It really tastes very lemony. I don't see a filling yet. I don't know if there is one. I think I need another bite. No lemon filling. This picture is a bit misleading, but it's fine. It would have been too much. I'm not a huge fan of fillings anyway, but it's good. I'm actually liking this. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. Very surprising. Let's head back inside and do some crafting. I wish I could show you, but I ate this whole thing. And I have to say there was some filling inside in the middle, but it was already quite hard. So it almost had the consistency of the cupcake itself. I did really enjoy this one. So today we have lace and a postcard. I have to be honest, this is not my favorite prompt. And I should also probably mention that Louisa and I did not plan which prompt would go with which of these prompts. So they happened by coincidence. The only thing that we checked is that there was nothing like impossible to do on the list. Okay, let's tackle lace and postcard. So obviously I did give this some thought before turning on the camera. And the first thing I did was to go through my own vintage postcard collection. And I came across these two. I thought these two had really pretty backsides. One has this beautiful old German writing. It was sent to an address in Vienna. So this says Wien. So I thought this one would be really fun to have. And then this is an American one from Florida and it's blank. So I thought these two are quite versatile and there's lots of things you can do with these. But then I thought, well, great that I have them, but what about my viewers? They might not have beautiful vintage postcards, which is why we needed this freebie, right? So these are scans of exactly these two postcards. They are a lot bigger, as you can see. You can always print them out smaller. Bigger is harder, but smaller is easy. So you can find this freebie linked for you below. And then I also thought, well, wouldn't it be fun to give you another goodie as well? So my goodie for today is 50% off my Felix and the Gang backgrounds and ephemera from today, December 12th to December 31st. And the code you will need to enter at the checkout is DEF2022 Felix. So what I did in preparation is I printed this one out at 70%. I printed this one out at 80%. And what I ended up with are these 3 smaller postcards. And I printed these on 200 GSM cardstock. So this is now something I believe I can work with for the journal. And not to forget, we also have our bunny. So I want to give these postcards some more character. So again, I'm going to use the method that I used for the envelope the other day. Meaning I'm going to spray the edges. Well, actually, no. First, I'm going to fold them up and crumble them up a little bit. You can do this with copy paper as well. You just have to be a little more gentle so you don't completely destroy your printout. I think doing this to your ephemera is also kind of like an acquired taste. I know this is definitely not for everyone, I think especially if you're relatively new to junk journaling, this might seem a bit strange, and maybe you're shaking your head at why is she destroying the ephemera? It gives it so much character. So hopefully at the end you will see that it was worth the extra effort. Okay, so now let's add some water on the edges. And the Distress Oxide sprays I'm going to use for this are Salvage, Patina, and Fossilized Amber. You can use any spray. You can use just watercolor or anything water soluble you have, and just add it to the edges and let it run. I'm going to dry this first. So far we have this, and then let's add more water, and then I'm going to add my Fossilized Amber, and I hope we won't get too much green with the combination of these two colors. And again, I will dry these with my heat gun. So now we have this, and I'm so happy it did not turn green. So I still have my beautiful yellow and the blue. And now I want to take it one step further and add some embossing glaze just with water. Again, something I learned from Louise. So I'm going to start with the speckled egg. Oh, this is still very new. Never used it. So this time I really want to be careful with the amount of water I add. So I really just want a few small accents. So I'm not going to press too hard on my bottle. So let's add the glaze. Oh, not over this. No, no, no. Okay, that's better. Okay, then let's heat that up. Okay, this is quite subtle. You can see some of the shininess. Not a whole lot. I'll do the same thing for the other two, and then we'll see what those look like. So here are the other two. Again, it's very, very subtle. You see the shine a little bit here, here, here. And please don't forget, if you use water for embossing, that it will take longer for the powder to melt, of course, because it also has to dry the water. I also want to try this walnut stain, and I'm hoping we'll see that a little bit more. So again, I'm going to add some water, but maybe this time instead of spraying it, I put some in here. I'll just dab some of it on with my finger, just to kind of get it on the edges. I'll heat up this one first before I do the other two to see if I even like it. So I've melted it now. You can see there's a lot less left than what was there originally. And I'm realizing that when you use water and you don't dab it off with a paper towel first, that a lot of the powder blows away before it even has a chance to melt. So with these, I think I will dab it off with a towel. And then hopefully more of that glaze will stick before it melts. Okay, so this is how much we have in the beginning. That's postcard 1. And that's postcard 2. There's not a whole lot on that from the start. It's not working. Did you see it blew away everything? Here I have just a little bit here on the corner. This is very interesting because I don't have this issue with my embossing powders. Let me try some with my Gold Hero Arts embossing powder, and I'll do the same thing. I'll just take water and put it on the edges, and we'll see how that does in comparison. This is very surprising to me. Again, I'll first try it on one. I mean, I have done this before. I've done it in the journal I made for Louisa. Okay, there's quite a bit there. So let's see what it looks like after I heat it up. So here I have a lot more left. I did lose a little bit while I was using my heat gun, but look how much is still left. So that is a big difference, even though I didn't even dab on this after I put the water. So interestingly, the powder works better than the glaze, although I don't have any embossing powder by Tim Holtz to compare it with. I only have the Hero Arts. So I'll add the gold to these two as well. I really like the gold effect. So here are the other two. Again, some of it blew away, but we still have a lot on here. So now finally I'm going to ink all my edges up with Walnut Stain Distress Oxide. So I've lost my bear here. You can hardly see him. So please also be aware of that if you use this technique, that you might lose some of your images. But I still can see that this is a postcard. And also here I can still see that it was sent to Vienna. So let's find a page in our journal. What about this one? Nope, not loving that. I would hate to cover this up. There would be quite a lot of drama on this page. Maybe this one. This one has like such a clean slate almost. I want to arrange them in a way that I definitely see the postcard, and I also want the Vienna showing, so I'll have the Vienna one on the bottom. I don't mind covering up our bear because we can't even really see that it's a bear anymore. How about something like that? We can of course glue these down to be pockets. They are rather bulky, so keep that in mind for your journal, depending on if you want more bulk or not. We still need lace and we need the bunny. So let's start out first by cutting out this bunny. Okay, here he is. Again, he's printed on 200 GSM cardstock to make it easier. If you just print it on copy paper, you might want to consider backing him with some sort of cardstock and then cutting around it. So where do we put him? Either we can put him just on the front like this, or we could have him maybe peeking out. That might be cute. To me, his expression looks like he's scared. He reminds me of the guinea pigs I'm currently taking care of for 12 days. They're my friends, and she brought them over to my place 2 nights ago, and they are so scared to be in a different environment with different noises, and my voice is obviously different, so they're constantly hiding in their little houses, and I can hardly get a glimpse of them. So that's what that face reminds me of. I hope they will relax a little bit. So we have our timid little bunny peeking out to see if the world is okay. If I can, I'll insert a very short video of those guinea pigs up there. And then I see this on my desk. Remember, this was from the jelly plate printing. And since these kind of still look a bit plain, why not add some contrast by adding this? Maybe I can cut it in half and put half on one, half on the other. So let's first tear out the 3. So I'll just go around it with my brush with water so that I can tear it easily. This is so satisfying somehow. So then I'll cut this in half, and I could add half here and half here. I feel I need something dark down here as well. I still have this other 3. I could use 3/4 of 3 on this one. Okay, let's tear that out, see if that works. Yeah, maybe 2/3 like this. Otherwise, I think it's just a bit too much. Okay, let's add those to our postcards. I'm going to use my matte gel for this. You can use Mod Podge. You can even use thinned down glue. So this is what they look like once they're dry. You totally don't see the napkin. And it looks like the images were, ooh, I messed up here a little bit. That's fine. It totally looks like, except this, it looks like the images were stamped directly on the postcards, and I love it. So let's put these back into our journal. Okay, then we have our bunny. I haven't inked him up, so I need to do that. I know you can't see it, but I've inked him up with walnut stain. And another thing I want to do is to add some stitching around the edges of these envelopes. So I'll take them to my sewing machine. So that's what they look like now. A little more interest. Okay, and I'd say I'm ready to glue these down now as pockets. So let's start with this one. I'm going to try to kind of hold it in place so I don't lose my position. Clamp these down a little bit on the edges. So while we wait for these pockets to stick a little better, I printed another sheet of my Felix Fox and the Gang ephemera. This is page number 2, because here we have these tiny postcards and we also have small envelopes. And I think these would be fun to stick in these envelopes. So I'm going to cut out these, and I'll cut out one of the envelopes, maybe even the bunny here, so that we have another bunny, and then we'll see how to add them to our envelope pockets. So I've cut out all my parts. I've inked them up with walnut stain. I printed these at 100%. They are that small on the printable, and I've again printed them on 200 GSM cardstock. I just need to fold up this little envelope, so I'll go ahead and do that now. So I'll just fold this up, and I'm folding it where the flaps end. I'm going to use my vintage iron to crease it well. And then I also, of course, need to fold up the flaps. And then we fold down the top flap, but I'm not folding it here, I'm folding it a little bit higher so so that there is a gap. Okay, now we just have to glue that together. No. Before I do that, wait. I don't want this white, so let's stencil something there first. I'll use my speckled egg, Distress Oxide, and this stencil, which is from Action. So I cannot link this one for you. I think anything with a pattern looks really nice. And as you can see, it's not totally speckled egg. The brush I used had different Distress Oxide on it before. And I know you shouldn't do that, but I actually love the effect that you get. So you have a little more of speckled egg here, and you have a little more of, it could be the brushed corduroy. I just really like it when they blend. So now we can close this up. And then I'll ink up this edge and these edges. Then I'll also add the design on the backs of all of these, because I always think it's boring when they're just white. How cute are those? So we could add one of these tickets to the envelope, like the bear, for example. I made them so that they fit in the envelope perfectly, and also the postcards fit into these envelopes. So let's add the bear. And let's put everything in our pockets. And we do still need some lace as well. And I also don't know yet how to add this bunny. I mean, we do have this bunny, so we don't absolutely need this one. Okay, let's place these first. Let's put the bunny here. The fox can peek out there. And then we have this envelope. We could just stick it in here. Okay, let's figure out first the envelope. So I have this piece of golden lace here, which I am going to glue on the flap. Then I'll take some petals from my dried hydrangea. Oh look, this one has 5 petals. Usually they only have 4. That's cute. And then we'll add some black thread underneath for some contrast. And this definitely needs some gold splatters. Yes, it does. And I'll add just a few here and here. So everything is dry now. And I think I want to showcase this a little bit more. I don't want to hide it in this top pocket. So I'll take these out here and we'll put this in here with the flap like that. I think I'll have to add a paper clip here because this is so bulky. So then we can add these two on the top pocket like that. So I have some of these tiny Tim Holtz paper clips, which I'm hoarding. They are so adorable. I don't have that many, so I'm very particular on where to add these. But I think this is a great spot. Yeah, this is super helpful. And then finally, I'm going to add our bunny down here. I think you'll realize once you start working on these prompts yourself, in case you haven't started yet, that it pays off to put more effort into making your ephemera, to add all the little details. Because I think when you flip through your journal in the end and you look at what you've done, you'll be, first of all, you'll be super proud of yourself. And second of all, you'll really get so much love and joy from your journal just because there's so many details and things to look at, and you've spent spent so much love and energy on each and every one of your page. That's what will make your journal really special. So put in the effort. I think it really pays off in the end. Let me know in the comments below if you have made similar experiences. And I think we can give ourselves a pat on the back because we have completed prompt 12. We have completed almost half of the list. We're done with the whole left side. So see you back here tomorrow. Love you guys. Mwah, mwah.